Hey class, we are going to have math right now, as you probably guessed with the number chart behind me. The first thing I want to do is something that we have not done in a while in this class because we've been counting really high numbers and counting by fives and tens and twos. Today we need to count starting at 1 to 30. Raise your hand if you can count from 1 to 30. Okay, why are we doing that today? Because on your worksheet that you're going to be doing after you watch this video, at the very bottom, you are writing the numbers from 1 through 30. So we're going to count them now. So it's 3 rows, right? The ones row, all the teens, and all the 20s until you hit 30, okay? Now the good news is they did some of it for you. So they've got some of the numbers in there for you. If you don't have a 1 through 100 chart at your house, which I'm guessing you might not, actually, let me get out of the way. Okay. If your parent wants to pause it right here later, or if you guys can take a screenshot of this, if you need the numbers in front of you. Some may not. So there it is if you need it for when you're counting 1 through 30 when you're writing the numbers. But right now, let's count them together. Ready, guys? Everybody doing it. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Pretty easy. Okay, next. Like I said, I'm taking this down now, but you guys can always rewind the video and pause it or freeze it right there. Okay, the next thing I want to talk to you guys about are our coins. I put them up on the board in random order because I want to see if you can pick out the different ones. So let's start off with our penny poem. Okay, let's say it together. Ready? Penny, penny, easily spent, coppery, brown, and worth 1 cent. Okay, this one I think is the easiest one because of its color. So on the board, which one of these is the penny? Stop me when I get to it. Okay, this is the penny, coppery, brown, and what's the most important thing that you need to know? It's worth 1 cent. All right, so let's say that together again. Ready? This is the penny. Penny, penny, easily spent, coppery, brown, and worth 1 cent. So, now that we know that, if you had a stack of pennies and I asked you to count them, what would you be counting by? Ones, because they're only worth 1 cent each. So you count like how we just counted 1 to 30, normal. 1, 2, 3. Pennies, just you count by ones. Okay, next. Nickel. Nickel, nickel, thick and fat. You're worth 5 cents. I know that. Okay, guys, so look at that again. Look at the picture. I only am showing you on the board. I'm only showing you the face sides. So which one is nickel, nickel, thick and fat? Which one is it? I know it's not that one. I know it's not this one because this isn't thick and fat. A lot of times people have a hard time deciding between these two, but if you look at the picture, that will help you. Also, a nickel, this is the one you should choose, is a little bit smaller than a quarter. Quarters are a little bit bigger in size, and they have a different person. Okay? So we just said you are worth 5 cents. Nickels are worth 5 cents. So if I handed you a stack of nickels, what would you be counting by? Fives, and that sounds like what? Help me. Ready? 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Okay, you get the point. Okay, next. So we've figured out penny, we've figured out nickel. We've got 2 silver ones left, but these 2 look very, very different, don't they? Especially because of their size. Next, dime. Dime, dime, little and thin. I remember you're worth 10. So which one, look at the picture again. Which one is the dime of the 2 that we have left? This one, definitely this one. So these are dimes and you count them by tens. Let me hear how that sounds. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. That's how you count dimes. Okay, so the last coin we have left is the biggest one up here, and it's a quarter, and it's worth what? 25 cents. And here's our quarter poem. Say it with me. Ready? Quarter, quarter, big and bold. You're worth 25, I am told. Quarters are worth 25 cents. We haven't learned how to count 25s yet, but how many quarters does it take to make $1? We have talked about that. How many? Are you saying 4? Yes, it takes 4 quarters to make $1. All right, next. Using our flannel board here. All right, I just want to quickly go over our fractions. So, first of all, can you see that? Yes. What is this? This is a circle, and we call this a whole because it hasn't been divided into pieces. It is a whole circle. Okay, next. Still a circle, but this time it's been divided right down the middle. And so what are these pieces called? They are called halves. When it's fair, the same side, one of each, okay, that is called 1/2, okay? And then, again, it's going to be, let me make sure, yep, you're going to be able to see that, okay. Going to be a circle again, but this time, look how many pieces it's cut into, and that's kind of your clue for this fraction. I'm separating them a little bit so you can kind of see how many pieces there are there. Okay, how many pieces has this circle been divided into? Fourths. It's been divided into 4 pieces. So just one of these, looks like a pizza slice, would be called 1/4 of a circle. So this is a whole circle, this is a half of a circle, and this is a fourth of a circle. Okay, which one is the biggest? Like if it was pizza, like these little mini pizzas, and I was really, really hungry, would I want a whole, a half, or a fourth? Look at the sizes. Don't worry about their names. The names can trick you a little bit. Would I want to eat, if I'm hungry, would I want a whole, a half, or a fourth? I would want a whole pizza, okay? Next would be, going down would be a half, and the very smallest is a fourth. So even though the number 4 might make you think, oh, 4, that's big, that means I have to share with 4 people. So we don't get the whole thing. We don't even get half of it. We each get a piece this size because we're sharing with 4. Okay, so the more pieces you've divided it into, the smaller piece you're going to get. Okay, so whole, half, fourth. Can you say those with me? Whole, half, fourth. And how do we know this one was fourth? Because it's been divided into 4 pieces. Okay, last thing I want to talk to you guys about before you get going on your worksheet is Judy clock. She's here to help. Okay, so let's start off in home position. This means I have both hands, make sure you can see that. Both hands are pointing up at the 12. And before we even start trying to tell time, we need to talk about the hands. First of all, how many hands are on a regular clock? 2. Okay, there is a long hand and there is a short hand. The short hand is called the hour hand. Everybody say it. It's the hour hand. And this is the one that you focus on first. Start with the short one first. Whatever it's pointing at, okay, is what you say first. Just, you don't have to count by anything. You just say that number. It's very easy. Okay, so I know it's going to be 2 something because it's pointing at the 2. Now, the minute hand is what I can't just say 2:06. That doesn't even sound right. You guys have been around this earth long enough to know that if you ask me, Mrs. Nelson, what time are we having recess? And I said, about 2:06. You can tell that doesn't sound like a real time. So when Mrs. Nelson asks you to tell me what time it is on the clock, I don't want to hear 2:06 because that's not even a real time. We know that the minutes you count by 5s. And we've already memorized this one. When the long hand, the minute hand is pointing straight down, we know to say 30. But why is that? Let's look on Judy and find out why. Because if I counted by 5s till I got down here, I would be at 30. Watch. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Oh, that's where they get the 30. So what time is it? 2:30. And we also know that when it's on 30, really, it'd be kind of between the 2 and the 3. And we practice with that little hook to remind us to go back to the number before. I can't call this 3:30. It's not to 3:30 yet. As the minute hand, watch what happens. As this minute hand continues to go around the clock, oh, slowly but surely now it's going to be exactly what? 3 o'clock. I can't even call it 3 here. I have to wait, okay? So you have to remember, as the minute hand's moving around, the hour hand will be slowly moving. Oh, my word. I don't know if you guys can hear those birds. I've got our classroom windows open, and there it sounds like a whole family reunion of birds out there. Okay. Okay, so that is, what time is it here? Remember, start with this. Shorthand first. Just say the number it's pointing at. Easy. 2. And then what do we learn about when the minute hand is pointing straight up? We call that o'clock. And how do you show that? Double zeros. So this one is 2 o'clock. All right, let me see. We're going to do a couple of the o'clocks and the 30s before we go on to the 15s, because we're still working on that one. Okay, what time is it here? Remember, start with the shorthand. Always shout that one out first. 10 what? It's pointing straight up. What is it? O'clock. Everybody, what time is it? 10 o'clock. That would be like what time you would go to art or music. Okay? All right, next. Let's see. Let's see if you guys can get this one. Don't get confused on your hour because it's a little more challenging this time. Remember, you're supposed to just shout your hour out, but when it's not on exactly on a number, you have to go to the number that's before it. So we would say 12, what? When it's pointing straight down, 30. So we call this 12:30. How do we get 30 again? Counting by fives. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So it's 12:30. Okay. Now, I think you're doing well on those. Let me go back to home. Let me go back to home position. Okay, so remember, we're back on home position. The minute hand isn't always going to be pointing straight up, and it's not always going to be pointing straight down. Sometimes it's pointing over here. Okay, and I'll put the hour on something else. I'll put the hour down here on 8, okay? So easy, we know it's 8, but 8 what? Oh, sometimes the minute part can be a little bit harder. Not if you remember to count by fives, okay? So count by fives, guys. 5, 10, 15. So what time is this? 8:15. It's 8:15, okay? So whenever, if you want to just memorize that, that'd be even better. But if you can't memorize it or you just forget, that's okay. Just remember with the long hand to count by fives. 5, 10, 15. And if you remember that, you can actually tell a lot of other times around the clock that we haven't talked about yet in kindergarten, okay, other than o'clocks and 30s and 15s, okay? All right, I think that is good for now. I've gone almost 12 minutes, and I didn't mean to do that. This video is going to take forever to upload. So let me just quickly talk to you about the back of your math worksheet. You did the front of it the other day with Miss Morgan, Mrs. Gray, and you have the back side to do today. So on the back side, I can't show you because I don't have one that doesn't have answers on it. All I have is my teacher answers, and I'm not showing you those because you don't need those. But backside, follow the directions, and like I told you, on the very bottom, there is the counting 1 through 30, and you can do it. And I can't wait to see your papers when you finish.